think I'm just gonna edit a video together live. I feel like that's all I can probably do on this. I can't really do much because my stick drift problem. That sounds like an innuendo. I do apologise. Wasn't intentional. But yeah. Yeah. Hello again. I decided to come back on just because I was bored, really. I've been watching a live stream. I can't really play much because of this BS that I'm dealing with. It's just a pain in the arse, isn't it? Like, it's an absolute pain. So I think all I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip some Rivals footage together. I assume I haven't used these. I think I might have used this one. Just make sure we are. Yeah, see, now this is deciding to be a pain as well. I don't know what to do. I really don't. The thing is, like, see, I can't even. It's ridiculous because I can't. I'm at the point where I can barely even use my controller, and it's infuriating because I just want to, you know, I just want to play my game. It's like it's just getting worse and worse by the day. So we'll just clip some. I might even post it as a bit of a consolation. We'll just clip all these together. These are just Rivals highlights. They're not that special or like, you know, unique. They're just highlights. You know, that's all they are. Is that 10 minutes? Surely. Have I clipped a 10-minute video in here? Surely not. Or is it just a lot of the... I think... Okay, yeah, we got a 10-minute... Nice, we got a 10-minute video. Project, there you go. Oh, actually, that's better. I don't actually have to... Because it's the right stick that controls... the like movement of stuff, but when I go on to like edit stuff, see, it's just going back on its own. So it's best we've got for now. It's the best we've got whilst we just chat. Unfortunately, it's gonna be a very boring stream. I can't play anything, so I'm just gonna be waffling, talking about life, I guess. I don't know. See, I want to build the following because I want to have more people in here to you know, interact with. I love that kind of stuff. I'm an actor at the end of the day. It's like kind of what I do. You know, although I suppose being an actor for me, it's more of a, you know, it's more about you know, performing for people and people, you know, in effect. I mean, this is pretty cool. We can look at some snippets of stuff here. Like there's the Wonder Man. Werewolf by Night, Spider-Man, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, X-Men, all that stuff, and then obviously I think over here we've got, or is this all we've got? Darn it, sorry. I wish I recorded the Doomsday stuff as well, so we can talk about that. But you know, it's one of them. It's one of them. It's like, I know these streams have been very Marvel heavy. Oh, it's cool. X-Men 97. That's a cracking show. Unfortunately, we're kind of like, I'm in a bit of a limbo. It's like, I can't play anything, and most of the stuff I talk about is Marvel. So, you know, and that is mostly because it's my biggest interest at the moment. Like, my biggest sort of fictional, you know, what do you want to call it? I don't know. Like, my like, important, and not to say it's not. I mean, it's important to me. It's one of my biggest sort of switch offs. But you know, in terms of like my immediate things that I'm doing, it's like it's not that important. Like, you know, I'm focusing on my degree, and I'm a massive Marvel nerd, so therefore I will consume most things Marvel. I say most things because I've finally started to not watch things I just don't enjoy. Hence why I didn't watch Ironheart. I tried to get into it. I couldn't stand it, honestly. I thought the writing was, maybe I just didn't give it a chance. Maybe that's the issue. I do apologise if I sound a little bunged up. I'm a bit sniffly, so I do apologise for that. But yeah, we've just got a Bridge Rivals montage, I guess you want to call it that. But yeah, um, yeah. All in all, though, things have been pretty good. I have started uni again. My deadlines have been extended because of the snow, which is I feel bad because I live right by uni. I can still walk to uni, but because people can't get in because of transport and snow dangers, it's like, well, part of me's like, oh, maybe I should have just stayed at home. But oh well, it's what it is. I had to come back at some point anyway, and I came back when it was safe-ish. So yeah, but yeah, there's been a lot of cool stuff happening, like in terms of like media and all that kind of thing. The Doomsday trailers. I've spoke a bit about them, like the X-Men returning, Thor's trailer, Steve Rogers coming back. The new one is set to be focused on Wakanda and the Fantastic Four, which I think is pretty cool because I quite like. I hope we get to go back to Wakanda because I love Wakanda in the MCU. I think it is one of the most aesthetically stunning. Well, it's not a world 'cause it's on Earth, but like locations because we've seen. I love New York. Don't get me wrong. I've actually been to New York, and Wakanda's a fictional. It's a fictional country. So, you know, um, I love it in Wakanda. Black Panther is one of the films. Ironically, I've watched it more than I've seen other Marvel movies. I've not. I mean, I'd say it probably comes into my top. I'd say bottom, like top 10 most watched films because I just love Wakanda. I love the world of Wakanda. I love the the history. I love the architecture. I love the all that kind of stuff. I love it. I think it looks so gorgeous. And Ryan Coogler, to be fair, he created, in my opinion, the best. I would say the best like location in the MCU. I mean I love Asgard, but Asgard was barely used. And the film it is used in the most was the worst, in my opinion. Thor: The Dark World. I don't dislike it, but I wouldn't say it's the best. I can kind of take or leave The Dark World. Not if I'm doing an Infinity Saga rewatch. Obviously, that film introduced the Reality Stone, and it's quite important for Marvel viewing. But at the same time, I've seen it that many times now where I can watch Endgame and be like, oh, I didn't miss that because I already knew it. I remember the post-credit scenes. I remember the Jane Foster story. I remember it all, so I don't really feel as compelled to rewatch it. I just found it a bit slow at times, but at the same time, it had its moments. It had its moments. It was really good, but it just didn't have enough. And then again, I do prefer Thor: The Dark World to some more recent titles. The title that, within the last 5 years, post Endgame, post COVID, really, I still stand by the title I dislike the most is Eternals. I did not like that film, and I would honestly say that I hate to say it, but I would say for me. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. In terms of movies, if we're just talking movies, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania comes after that. I remember being so excited for that film, especially because it was one of the first. It was the second Marvel film I'd see during my degree. I remember being so disappointed because I was buzzing for. I loved the trailers. I loved what they were doing with it. I had my nitpicks. I didn't like MODOK. I didn't like the suits that the Ant family were going to be wearing. I didn't like them. I thought they just looked way too. There was just too much going on. I think the best Ant-Man suit, in my opinion, was the suit he wore in Ant-Man and the Wasp and Endgame. I like the Civil War one, but that didn't feel as good as the first one. And then the Endgame and Ant-Man and the Wasp suit, it just translated some. It felt like a perfect blend between the Civil War and the first Ant-Man suit. So Quantumania was just a disappointment all around, in my opinion. I just didn't enjoy it. Yeah. Eternals was one of those. I fell asleep. I almost fell asleep. I was so bored. I was so bored, and I was struggling to find a reason to care. Really, I was like, oh, they're all just really old and powerful. Um, I just didn't have an interest in the film. Um, but yeah, things like Wakanda Forever and particularly like post No Way Home as well. No Way Home set a precedent. Multiverse of Madness is one of those films as well. Like I remember I liked it the first time I saw it, but then I watched it again and I started seeing things that I just didn't understand. Like why John Krasinski making a cameo as Reed Richards. Bearing in mind that was the first ever uh, physical appearance of a Fantastic Four member. Obviously not the main Fantastic Four, but like seeing John Krasinski, I thought he was really, really cool. But the way they wrote the character was atrocious. Like, why would he go and tell Wanda Black Bolt's like biggest weakness? And I know he didn't do it ironically. It was more of a gloat. It was more of like a power trip. Well, yeah, he can stop me with just one word of his mouth. And saying that to someone like Wanda, like, surely you'd know what she's capable of. Like, surely you'd know that she can just silence you, like, like that. Don't know if you heard me there. I just clicked my fingers, but yeah, I just thought like, what? That was so dumb, in my opinion. Like, that was ridiculous. And then, there was other things that were cool. I just don't think the film really, you know, tapped into the multiverse of madness. We saw like a montage of different worlds, but in reality, we spent only a bit of time in 3 worlds. I say that it was mostly just 2 because they got to the one that fell victim to the incursion, and they were only there for a bit. They didn't really do much in there. They just fought. He just fought Sinister Strange, and then Dreamwalked, which I'll admit that scene was cool. That scene was really, really cool. The dreamwalking scene I thought was probably the best scene in that entire film. But yeah, I don't hate Multiverse of Madness. I just don't think it was very. I don't think it was written very well, which is funny, really, because the writer, I think it was Michael Waldron who wrote that. He did Loki, and I thought Loki was amazing. Like Loki was one of the best. I think it is a character thing. Like some writers know how to write other characters better than, or they can write some characters better than other, and I get it. I do get it. Some characters are hard to write for, but at the same time, if you're tasked with doing a movie, then I don't know, do more research. Especially when it comes to writing for characters like Reed Richards, even if John Krasinski was effectively a cameo. Like, don't butcher Reed Richards. Come on. Haley Atwell as well. I don't feel like they. I'm gonna throw something out here. I thought Captain Carter was obviously much used better in What If. I mean, she was. Let's face it, she was the lead of What If. Like, when I thought Jeffrey Wright's The Watcher was going to be the lead of What If. In fact, I didn't even think the What If was going to have a lead, other than The Watcher, because I thought, they'd all team up at the end and interconnect those stories. But I thought it was just an anthology series, and then seasons 2 and 3 happened. I'm like, well, clearly the focus is on Captain Carter. Like, you gave Captain Carter, I think like 4 central episodes in What If season 2. One of them, I'll admit, was probably one of my favourites, if not my favourite of the whole show. Avengers in 1602. That was a brilliant episode. That, in my eyes, was like that almost felt like a pitch for Battleworld in Avengers Secret Wars. I love that episode. But the rest of it, I just don't. I don't know. Just, something about What If, it just rubbed me the wrong way a bit. I think it was how ridiculous things got. You know, things got really, really far fetched, and in my opinion, it kind of lost the point of the show. It was just like, oh, we've got all these different characters from the Infinity Saga, and oh, we're doing the first like phase of the multiverse saga. Let's just throw it all in, and let's not actually write a story there. Let's just. There was some episodes in, I think it was season 2 in particular, that I thought were really, really good. One that stood out to me was when they crossed over the Red Room with um, Steve Rogers and the Hydra Stomper. That was cool, and I feel like I'm in a small minority of people that might think that, because I actually really enjoy Black Widow. I love that film. I've seen it quite a few times. I really enjoy Black Widow. It wasn't perfect, but then again, I don't think any of them are perfect. Even my favourites like Endgame, No Way Home, Deadpool and Wolverine, um, Infinity War, none of them are perfect. They're just really, really good. Um, you know, I don't think any film ever is perfect, and I think that's why I get enjoyment from the things I really like, because it's like, well, obviously they're not perfect. Nothing is in life. You just try and make it the best you can. But Black Widow was one of those films where I just enjoyed it, and I still do. Like, I'll watch it whenever I'm doing like a spy flick, like a Marvel spy flick or an espionage Marvel thing. I have this thing, or actually no, like a saga within a saga. Because if you watch the events of Winter Soldier, Age of Ultron, Civil War, and Black Widow, they all kind of happen simultaneously. Like, you've got those 4 films kind of happen within the space of like 2 years, and it's kind of incredible if you think about it. It's actually remarkable how they did it. And in those 2 years, they set up Infinity War perfectly. I just loved it. I absolutely loved Black Widow. But yeah, sorry, I need to yawn for a second. Yeah, excuse me, I'm quite tired. I've literally done nothing today. Like, I've wasted the day. But I was meant to be in uni, and then it shut because of snow. So yeah, I wonder what on Tuesday we're gonna get the final teaser dropped on YouTube for Doomsday. I've heard rumors that there's a 5th one. I'm not gonna believe it, because I think what they'll want to do is they'll want to highlight what wasn't shown in the Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts post-credit scenes, because like, in retrospect, those post-credit scenes were more just, prelude scenes of Doomsday. It maybe those scenes actually make it in the final cut, maybe they don't. But Marvel has got form with doing that. Like, Marvel has dropped like scenes that are either in the next film, like they did with Ant-Man. Ant-Man's post-credit scene was just Steve, Bucky, and Sam. And then that scene was shown in Civil War. But really, I don't know. I mean, they could just reuse those scenes. It makes sense, quick reintroduction to the Avengers, or the new Avengers. Sorry, Fantastic Four. Like, maybe that scene that we saw with Doomsday, like with Sue, Doctor Doom, and Franklin. Maybe that is like the opening scene of Doomsday. I see so much talk about what the opening scene of Doomsday is going to be, and I'm just like, just wait till the movie. That's what I always do. Unless it's put right in front of you and you know what's just happened. Like, when Thor Ragnarok came out, it ended with Thanos showing up to like it's not the life raft, but the big ship that all of Asgard like went on. It, as soon as like the trailer for Infinity War came out, it's like, well, that's where they're going to pick up with, because of the fact that Thanos is here. He's looking for this the Tesseract. Oh, Happy New Year, mate. Happy New Year, mate. I'm so sorry I missed your chat. I'm so sorry. Happy New Year, buddy. I hope you're doing all right. It's good to see you, honestly. Unfortunately, the gaming is being put on hold because my controller is having awful stick drift. So this is the one like app on the PlayStation I can stream from, and also not have my controller just flail around all over the, or not like the camera just flail around all over the place. It's been a pain in the backside, but like for example, if I do that, you can see the thing just moving by itself. I have my controller on my laptop right now, I'm not even touching it, but yeah, unfortunately that is yeah, that's okay, mate. How are you doing? I'm not too bad, mate. How are you doing? How are you doing? I hope your family had a great Christmas and New Year. I hope you had a good one as well. I'm doing pretty good. My uni assessment has been pushed back a week because of the snow, so I'm bit relieved about that because I was getting a little bit stressed. So I've got a bit more time to work it out. But me and my mate, we're working on something pretty cool, so I'm quite pleased with that. And we've now got the week to really refine it, so it's all good. But yeah, I hope you're doing all right, man. Doing great, awesome, awesome. What did you think? All right, I'm going to move away from the Marvel chat. What did you think from of the flashbacks and Corrydale? Because I'll admit, I actually watched them both. The EastEnders Flash Forward and Corrydale. I thought they were great. I thought there was some missed opportunities for both, but um, I really enjoyed them. I was a bit stressed because I didn't know what to get for L. Bless you, mate. I completely understand. Honestly, I completely understand. I hope, like, thankfully, because she's really young, I feel like that kind of makes it a bit more widespread. It's until like she gets older and she starts to develop more interests. It's like, well, how do you buy around those interests? Let's get her a blanket. Oh, that's really cute. Let's get her a blanket with the name. That is so sweet, mate. Like that is so. I know it's a bit cheap. At least it's honestly, for me, it's always the thought that counts. Like, um, if you put like £1,000 car in front of me, or like a £100, or like 100, like a £10 Lego set. I love Lego. I don't care about the cars. I don't care about cars. I don't drive. I don't, so I'll take the Lego set. I'd appreciate the car. Don't get me wrong, but I don't drive. I'd rather driving lessons. Corridale was amazing, but Max's flash forwards was meh. Yeah, I get what you mean. I can't like. I quite enjoyed the flash forward. I'm not looking forward to spending the whole year speculating on what's going to be what. I've already got my theories, but yeah, I'm kind of annoyed we have to wait a year for everything to unfold. Yeah, I completely get you. I completely get you. That is I'm just impatient. Same. I want to know, because they're already teasing that Max and B are gonna have a thing. Well, they're doing that now, so obviously, knowing EastEnders, B's not going to be the one who's pregnant. Um, you know, and in terms of like who's what, I don't know, but I'm excited to see what happens. I'm interested in it again. I've got my theories, and it's kind of keeping me interested in watching. But Corrydale, that was brilliant. That was really, really good. I'm devastated that we didn't get a Kane and John showdown, but I suppose they must have anticipated. I mean, they must have planned the cancer storyline for Kane like months ago. So I assume they had to have something happen. I wish we just got a fight, at least a fight, an on-screen fight between John and Kane. I don't get what women see in Max. Yeah, I wonder that myself. I wonder that as well. I don't get what women see in Max. He's just a top shagger. Corridale, on the other hand, was brilliant. I love Graham coming back. I am so shocked about that. I think Graham is the most. I think he just has that charm. Yeah, I completely agree. I remember how Graham died. I remember the aftermath where they actually shown the body. And I'm just thinking, how the hell are they going to address that? Like, that is ballsy from Emmerdale, but at the same time, if they do it right, then I think they've just made history. I wonder how they're going to explain everything. If they properly lock in and come up with a feasible way to explain how Graham is back, then in my opinion, that is the best coming back from the dead storyline in history. Like, I don't know how, because we literally saw him die on screen. It'll, like, people always talk about bring back Ronnie and Roxy. Well, how? Because not only did we see them drown, we literally saw Ronnie in the coffin, and Jack, breaking down. So it's like, how do you do that? Um, Characters like Mick Carter, you didn't see the actual death. Like, he went into the sea, he just didn't come back up. We don't know what happened there. Like, that's more like left open. We didn't see Mick take his last breath or, like, drown underwater. Like, we didn't see that. So they've left that open. They've kind of teased it. But Graham, I don't know how they're going to do it, but if they do it right, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be remarkably good if they can pull that off. Like, genuinely, that is going to be fantastic if they do it right. That would be spectacular. And I still find it weird that characters from Coronation Street and Emmerdale now know of each other. I know they said they're not going to do another crossover, but at the same time, I hope they do. Or at least I hope they do like the you know, odd thing here and there. Like, maybe not a full-on stunt crossover, but like, oh, this character's going to go on a holiday and they're going to go to Manchester, or they're going to go to, Leeds or whatnot, or, and they just kind of interact from there. But yeah, that was brilliant. That was really good. I quite enjoyed Corriedale. But yeah, that was pretty cool. Um, I've been wondering. I've been seeing the Lego leaks. I've been seeing the Lego leaks for summer 2026. Right now, no set names have been announced, but um, there are there is speculation. Oh, only problem is my little cousin I've been telling you about. Oh yeah, so been any updates? If you feel comfortable sharing, I'd like to know, just so I can be a supportive mate. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. I had a ridiculously small tea, so if you hear my stomach grumble, I do apologise. But yeah, I hope everything's alright with your cousin, man. I know, like, he came onto that stream once, but genuinely, like, I don't think anything bad of him, really. In my opinion, he's just a kid who's growing up, and unfortunately, that is a difficult thing, particularly for boys as well. I would not want to be. I would not want to be a teenager again. I hated that. I hated being a teenager. Well, okay, okay. I do hope, even if he's, I don't know, but I'd like to I'd like to know if he's all right. He got beat up, but oh shit, dude, I am so sorry. Fuck, man, I'm so sorry. I Jesus, I really hope he's all right. I oh my god, like, I'm so sorry. If you can't disclose anything on chat because of police reports, or whatever's happening with that, please don't feel like you have to. Um, they were supposed to be his mate. Oh God, I hate people like that. They are disgusting. They are absolutely disgusting. People that pretend to be your mate and then they just turn on you like that. That is, Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry. Honestly, I hope he's okay. I really hope he's okay. That is disgraceful. I remember you talking about how his mates weren't the best group to be around, and I'm so sorry that that's happened. Call me crying about it. Fuck, man. Oh man, I really hope he's all right. You know, and I hope he does get justice for it as well, because that's just disgraceful. Like that is absolutely disgraceful. Like, and you use blokes plural, so more than one. Like, how much of a pussy do you have to be to attack one person? I know he's sad about it, but I'm glad he's not involved with them. They were doing nothing but dragging him down. I'm glad he's got out of that friendship group, man. I'm so relieved to hear that he's gotten out of that friendship group. And do you know, send him my best wishes, because no one deserves to go through that, like at all. Like being real for a minute, I do know what it's like being, you know, dragged down by the wrong group. I don't want to get into it too much, but I just wish that didn't happen. Yeah, unfortunately, it's far too common for it to become too far, for it to get way too far before you can break away. And I hate that that's what society's like. I would go tell them off, but they are kids. I think it's best to let the authorities deal with it, because honestly, I've had my thoughts that, you know, when someone's wronged a member of my family, of going and kicking their heads in, but I'm, you know, someone in my family that I'm very close with got assaulted 2 years ago, just a few months before I did. But theirs was a physical assault, um, and the person that did it was also underage. So if I'd have gone over and did what I really want to do, then that wouldn't have ended well for anyone. I've had a similar experience. I'm so sorry, dude. I'm really sorry. It's just disgraceful what people can do to another person. You know, it's like, first of all, attacking someone. I hate, same situation, except I didn't know them. See, in my eyes, I don't think there is a worse one. If any circumstance of that situation is just atrocious, I that is disgraceful, and I'm so sorry that happened to you too, man. Like, I really am. Um, if you want to talk about it privately as well, do let me know. Because I'm always here for you, man. Always. That's why I brought up when I was on the phone with him. That's what I brought. Yeah, I get you. That's what I brought up when I was in the phone with them. Yeah, I'm glad that you were able to, you know, sort of console him with what you've been through. I mean, you shouldn't have gone through it either. Thank you a lot. Anytime, mate. Honestly, you've always been a fucking legend in this community, man. Like, you are genuinely the nicest person I know on this platform. And I think that's a brilliant breath of fresh air, because unfortunately I think there's a lot of people on this platform, and I'm a part-time retired YouTuber with 500 subs. I know my opinion means fuck all there, but if I'm being realistic, like, there are plenty of people on this site that will probably behave in the same way as those guys that attacked your cousin. And you know, it's a disgrace to even say that, but some of the behaviour that happens on YouTube, it's like, to have you on my corner, it's like, it's a massive breath of fresh air, you know. And I know there's a lot of people on the internet that are wonderful and awesome, but there's also some you just can't. You know, they're online, and it's like, well, you don't know them, like, you don't know them personally, so it's difficult, you know. But I really hope that your cousin will be okay. You know, um, I would strongly recommend if he struggles with like the aftermath of all of it, I would strongly recommend he contacts like some kind of support. If he's under the age of 18, then I personally wouldn't suggest cams because I've been through cams and they are very hit and miss. You get, I mean, there's jokes about them for a reason, you know. There's jokes about them. There shouldn't be. There shouldn't be any jokes about people that try and help with trauma and things like that. But the reputation that cams have has left them with that. Those jokes being made, and it's not on. It's not on. It's disgusting, and I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that your cousins had to go through that, mate. Like genuinely. But yeah. I do send him my best, man. I do send him my absolute best. And, I give you my best as well, mate, because you are my best mate on YouTube. So, anytime I hear someone I care about has been hurt, or someone that, knows person I care about has been hurt, then I'm gonna be pissed. It's okay. All right, mate. Well, you know where to find me. Well, not literally, because I haven't gave my address out, but I really appreciate you. I really appreciate you too, man. I really appreciate you as well. Like, you do. You mean a lot to me. You're a legend. You are a legend, and hopefully we've got a good year ahead. I really hope this is a good year. I think the world needs a good year. Not to get political, but everything's just been kind of shit now for a while. So having a good year, I think, is going to be a nice, change of pace. But we'll see what happens. We'll see. Hopefully, a lot of exciting things coming up this year, both personally, hopefully professionally, and hopefully globally as well, man. Like we need a bit of light in the world again. We've got some cool stuff happening in 2026. The world's got some cool stuff lined up, and we just need to enjoy it. And anyone that decides to be a twat should be dealt with the appropriate consequences. It's kind of my sort of stance on it. And that's as far as I'm going to go in terms of the political stuff, because truthfully, I don't feel equipped to talk about it much because I don't know what I'm talking about. I've just got strong views, I guess, on the way people should be treated. Treat someone with respect, and if you disrespect them, then expect no respect back. I'm so sorry, yeah. Excuse me. Forgot what I was going to say. Completely forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, my brain is completely fried. I'm so sorry. Oh, the smart bricks as well. I forgot. The smart bricks is yeah, the smart bricks is happening for Lego. I'm gonna talk about that briefly because I think that is one of the most uninspiring things I've ever seen. I mean, it's inventive, the smart bricks thing. Hey mate, how you doing, bud? How you doing, man? I hope you're doing alright, mate. Yeah, the smart bricks. Oh, did your play get good reviews? Oh, it's funny you mention that. I got my grade back. I got my grade back. I mean, I passed, you know, but the actual like mark was higher than I've ever had. So for the grade back, I think anything above an 80 is considered a first. I think I got 83 for the performance. No, 83 for the rehearsal process, which was from. I mean, it's kind of difficult. I mean, I got 83 for the rehearsals and 87 for the performance, which is the highest I've ever had. You know, I remember before that I got a high 70 and a low 80, which was the, you know, before that was the highest, and I was blown up. I was so happy with that. But the grade boundaries changed since then, so to be in the 80s and have like quite a comfortable first, for me, that meant the world. That was amazing. Yeah, everyone loved it. Everyone loved it. It was so, it was amazing. Like honestly, um, I remember I was talking to my dad because my dad. I went back to my hometown for Christmas. I was talking to my dad about it because he came to watch the show, and my dad's seen all my shows here. He's seen them all, but even then, that still blew him away. Like he wasn't really surprised. I mean, I thought he wouldn't be surprised, but even he was still surprised from how good it was. And it was incredible. Honestly, it was such an incredible show, and to have that grade as well was like, wow. I've never had anything like that before, um, or anything that high. So yeah, it was amazing. It was amazing. I hope your uni assignments are coming along well, mate. I really do. Um, do correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't it film you're doing? I do find that incredible if I'm correct because one of my in fact my childhood best mate is in her third year. She doesn't go to the same uni as me, unfortunately, but yes, it is film. Nice, nice. She's also doing film and photography, and we are working on like a little headshot shoot soon, which is a win-win for both of us because I need headshots as an actor, and she needs like, I mean, she needs to take headshots for her course. So we're kind of killing two birds with one stone here. So I'm really excited for that. Hopefully that's going to be within the next couple of weeks because I'd like to have that done before, because I have two more modules left for the year and then I'm done with uni. Um, I have a module called Future Self, and that's all about setting you up for after I graduate. And the one thing I don't have, well, there's two things I don't have, which an actor definitely needs, is headshots and the show reel. The show reel is pending. I have been in some conversations with that. But no, the show reel is pending, but the headshots I've not, I've never had headshots done before. I've done scenes and films and stuff to use for um, a show reel. I don't really want to use them though because they were just with people that I don't talk to anymore. So I'd rather just work with a fresh set of actors. But yeah, excuse me if I'm burping a lot as well. I've got Coke with me. And it's kind of gross to. I mean, I hate doing it. So, but yeah, I'm really excited for the remainder of the course. Although I'm really sad that we're only in like one day a week now until we start our final project, which I have no clue what the project's going to be. They're being deliberately tight-lipped about it. This is the first year they're running this new third-year course. So with the final project, they're going to put us in groups, and because normally you get to choose groups, but they're scrapping that, and I'm glad they're scrapping it because honestly, choosing who you work with, in my experience, is not as beneficial as, just being put in a group, Because I think if you've been put in a group, then you kind of you kind of release any biases, you know. And I think it's an easier personal, professional dissociation when you're working with people that you wouldn't choose to work with, if that makes sense. But you can still be mates and you can still be professional, and there's no bad blood or anything. But say you constantly decide you're going to work with your best mates. Well, they're your best mates. You've got a relationship. Hey, mate, I'll be right back. No problem, buddy. No problem. No problem. If you constantly, thanks so much for being so supportive. No problem at all, mate. No problem. I'm always here for you, man. Always. But yeah, like if you choose to work with your best mates, I think that is great. That is awesome. I've done it in the past, and it's brilliant. But you do have to sort of write a boundary of like, okay, well, this is us when we're working, and this is us when we're just being mates. Because otherwise, you get the crossover between the two, and sometimes those crossovers can cause problems. And I don't think that my mates would disagree with me on that, because you know, it's one of those things. Acting is such an intimate thing, and also when you're facilitating, you're putting on a show, you're putting on a workshop. It's like I'm quite lucky because I'm working with a very close friend, but he's also a new friend. Like I've become friends with him over the course of the last couple of months. So we're still kind of getting to know each other, and thankfully our biggest kind of like what made us friends was by working together, and we learned very quickly how we do that. So what's really been helpful is the fact that we've been able to be really good mates and still work together quite fluently. And to be honest, like I don't think there's been any points where we've disagreed on anything. We've just listened to each other's ideas, looked at the feasibility of those ideas, and then gone forward with ideas that make sense on what we do and how we can do it. And yeah, and also I am going to shout the guy out because he is a Twitch streamer. Everyone, go follow Linksy Liam on Twitch, please. Go and follow him. He's a fucking badass. I love the guy. I love him. He is such a good person, and an even better mate, and a fucking good actor as well. And not just good actor, but good like creator, facilitator. He does loads. Honestly, go support the guy. I love him. I love him to pieces. He is a legend. But yeah, he's an honour to work with. Like he's an absolute delight to work with, and he's a delight to just be his mate as well. I feel really lucky getting to call him a mate, as well as working with him. But yeah, it's just awesome. I am really hungry. I had a very small tea. It's kind of my own fault really. Yeah. Um, it's a bit late for me to be ordering food, and to be honest, I don't want to order any food. I need to go shopping more than anything. I'm gonna go shopping tomorrow, snow or no snow, because I want to make a roast dinner. I want to make a roast dinner. I bought vegetables. They're frozen vegetables. They'll last me ages. I bought frozen chicken. I bought roast potatoes. I've got mashed potatoes. Yes, I do have both. Don't judge me. Um, I won't do Yorkshire puddings just because that's very carb heavy anyway. I'd like to have a bit of balanced. I've got my meat. I've got my veg. I've got my protein. I've got my vitamins. I've got my carbohydrates. I have gravy all over it. Plus, I've only got regular sized plates. I don't eat from platters. I really want to cook a roast. Because I don't eat many roast dinners, and I'd love to have more. Honestly, I'd love to have a roast dinner every week. And I think that is I don't want to say goal, because I say that, it won't work. But that is what I want to do. I want to have a roast dinner, like every week. I won't enjoy cooking it, because I hate cooking. I'm good at cooking, but I find it boring. I mean, I can't have a love-hate relationship with cooking. Depends what I'm cooking. If it's something boring, like I just stick something in the air fryer and then just, stick it in a wrap or a bap or some bread, that's boring. That's not cooking for me. But if it's something like, making a curry, or I bought some fajitas cooking sauce as well. I want to get some fresh chicken and make fajitas. I think that would be really cool. Um, yeah, what else was I going to say? I completely forgot what I was going to say. Sugar lumps. The smart bricks. I was talking about the smart bricks, wasn't I? Um, Not for me. I think the idea is cool, but it's not for me. And to be honest with you, I don't think it would have been for me much when I was a kid either. Because I know it's a very much a kids orientated thing. Like, I've got the 2023 Death Star throne room duel diorama. That's a mouthful. I got the throne room diorama from Return of the Jedi. That is one of my favorite Star Wars sets that I've ever built. That alongside with the Star Wars logo and R2D2. I love my throne room diorama. I love it. Seeing the new one, I was like, what the bleep is that? That is an abomination. But then I kind of realised, well, hang on a minute. I bought an 18 plus one. That is a diorama. Like, it's literally got the I'm a Jedi like my father before me quote. It's got the little Darth Vader 40th anniversary plaque and the Lego Star Wars logo. This is just a play scale Death Star throne room. I'm like, well, that's cool, but it's also not. It's not my thing, you know. Well, I mean, no, the diorama is cool, but the new one is like it's got these like stick things that you put the minifigs onto, and then you start like twiddling around. It's like that for me is and I keep seeing in the comments kids make the noises, and I completely agree. When I was playing with my Lego sets when I was a kid, I display them now. I don't play with them, but when I was playing with them, I'd always make the noises. I'd tell the stories. I do the voices. I do the lightsaber sounds, the blaster sounds. I did all that because that was the joy of using my imagination, which I as an actor I've got a lot of. So to have these smart bricks that do all of it for you, but also it doesn't do it all for you because it might not do the noises you want them to do. Like I used to improvise dialogue with my play when I was little. When I was playing with my Ben 10 figures, my Lego sets, my whatever, I would make the noises and I'd do the talking and the singing and the fighting. And it's like I did that because that was the story that my little imagination, my little brain was trying to tell as a kid. So to have the bricks, and the thing is as well, like because I think they're doing 4 sets. They've revealed 3 of them. One of them is a canteen, Mos Eisley Cantina, which I mean it's great if you missed out on the big one. The big one is one of my most wanted sets. I can't lie. It's basically the equivalent of a Star Wars modular, with it being like completely enclosed, and I love it. I just think it looks amazing. But you can also open it up like a doll's house. I love that set. I love it. I think it looks so cool. But I don't know. The Cantina one doesn't actually play the music, and like when I first saw that, I was like, right, okay, I get it, copyright. But it has it so that you move it, and when it moves, it's doing like the do 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 do. It's trying to do the band music, do 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 do. It's trying to do that, but it's not doing that because it's moving very very slowly, so it doesn't actually sound like he's trying to do the Cantina music. And also, you probably get tired trying to manually move it. I mean, it's great that they're incorporating technology into an analog hobby like Lego. I think that is brilliant. I think that is, you know, that is like genius. But at the same time, I think it's kind of it's a very target specific demographic, and I'm fine with that because at the end of the day, all of us AFOLs, we've got our black box, 18 plus Lego sets, we've got our modulars, our our UCS sets, our dioramas, we've got all of that stuff, but we've got our helmets as well. I've got an awesome collection of helmets. I've got five of them now. I've got five of them. I've got Rex, Vader, Din Djarin, Cody, and Bush Leia. Bush Leia and Cody still need to be built. But I've got helmets. I've got, a pretty cool 18 plus collection. Kids obviously need something as well. But Lego was originally designed for kids. It is a toy, after all. It is a toy that has become accessible for adult collectors. For us adults, we've got. I mean, I personally don't collect Pokemon cards, but that's been a thing for decades. You've got all sorts of adult collecting hobbies. Obviously, Lego was initially designed for kids, so I feel like it is kind of a next step of doing that. I just hope it doesn't become a permanent thing because the prices, oh my god, the prices of these smart brick sets, smart play sets, they are shocking. I think I spent 80 quid. I think it was around 90 quid when I first bought that Death Star throne root diorama. And to be honest, I got my £90 worth of, value in that set because the build was incredible. The minifigs were not, I mean, technically Luke was new-ish because he had a new hairpiece, but the minifigs were still amazing. I didn't actually have a Darth Vader with arm print at that point. So the minifigs was just iconic. It's the same minifigs in this new one, but rather than like a detailed, like proper, one-to-one scale, this is the Death Star, and all like your trimmings of like the Lego Star Wars logo, your 40th anniversary plaque, your Luke Skywalker quote. You've got these big sticks. And when I paid £90 for that one set, this new one, which is nowhere near as detailed, is 140 quid. And it made me realise you're not actually paying. I don't feel like there is much of a price per piece ratio with these sets. I feel like the RRP is now, for Lego at least, for the smart play sets, I feel like it's now becoming more towards the technology and the hardware of actually running the set than it is the set itself. And that for me is what I don't really like. I would rather, make the set, but like your charging cable, like make the set with and just release the the charging kits as a separate one, because it looks like they're including a charging kit in each set, which for me, I think that is insane, because for people that might want to display those sets, they're going to have hundreds. By the time these smart bricks sets start rolling out and they do more, with other themes, you're going to have hundreds lying around, and I think that is insane, And personally, I don't want to see it incorporated into many more themes than just Star Wars. I mean, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. I got back into Lego Star Wars as well this year after not buying a Lego Star Wars set in quite a while, I want to say. I hadn't bought a Lego Star Wars set in a fair while. I got some as Christmas gifts, which was amazing, and I loved it. But actually buying a Lego Star Wars set, I hadn't bought one for a while. I bought two over Christmas. I bought the Ahsoka's Jedi Interceptor because it went from 40 quid to 20 quid. I was like, okay, 20 quid is what it should have been in the first place. I love the Ahsoka minifig. I love the Anakin minifig. The Jedi Interceptor looks cool. I remember building one of those when I was younger for Yoda. Not obviously they've re-released it since, or they've remade it since. But I was like, I like Jedi Interceptors. I'm gonna get it. It was a great build. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I also bought the Star Wars logo with it. The Star Wars logo was probably one of the best sets I built all of last year. It was just relaxing. Like, it was just relaxing. I had Revenge of the Sith on in the background when I was building both sets. I was watching my favorite content from Star Wars. I just loved it. I loved building the Star Wars logo. There was a few bits where I built it wrong, so I couldn't actually, sort it out. But the actual build, when I finally finished it, it was incredible. It's such a cool logo. Definitely one of my favorite builds of 2025, which is insane because I think I built more Lego than ever before last year. I built a lot of sets. I built, in fact, let's go over. We'll drop the smart brick discussion for a bit. Let's talk about the best sets I built last year. The first one I built was the Marvel logo. The Marvel and Star Wars logos for me were the best sets of last year that I built. I also built an Iron Man mech, which weren't that good. I can't lie. I really regret buying it. I hate mechs. I bought it for an Ultron minifig and a comic book Iron Man. The mech itself was just not that good. What else did I build last year? I built the Spider-Man 2 train scene. That, I think, is probably third place best set. Or maybe second. I don't know. That Spider-Man set was incredible. I watched Spider-Man 2 as I was building the set. I built the Miles Morales versus the Spot set. That was a fun build. That was a great build. I built the Fantastic Four set. That was a great one. I said in my earlier stream that I actually think the Galactus build was better than the minifigs in this set. And I stand by that. What else did I build last year? I mean, yeah, I built the Plo Koon microfighter, but that came out. Yeah, that was a cute little build. I got that as a Christmas gift, so that was quite fun. I think I built some more helmets last year. I built the Mandalorian and Captain Rex helmets. I also built the R2D2, but then that was a Christmas gift from the year before. I still built it in the new year. Yeah, so I would class it in terms of sets I built last year. Bearing in mind, I'm not one of these people. I constantly splurge on new releases. There are still old sets that I really, really want. I would love the Jewel and Peridia set that came out 2 years ago. Unfortunately, it's retired now, so I'm not going to be able to build it. Or not going to be able to buy it for retail value. Unfortunately, it's going to go up in the aftermarket. But then I want Daily Bugle more the modular, not the mini modular. I think the mini modular looks cool, but I want the big one more. But yeah, I love Lego. Oh, actually, no, I'm missing two very important sets. I literally have them right in front of me. The Endgame sets from last year, the Final Battle and the little battle pack Thor versus the Chitauri. I really enjoy building them. I mean, I bought it. I upgraded the minifigs. I desperately upgraded the minifigs. Not all of them. To be honest, the only ones I really want to upgrade are Black Panther, Spider-Man, and Wanda. Give her a waist cape. Because Doctor Strange having a better costume than he did in Endgame, I'm not bothered about that. Ant-Man could do with leg prints, but I would rather put that effort put the money into the big three and my favourite ones. Falcon looks fine as he is, but Black Panther's the wrong one, and his one in Endgame was better than the one in Civil War. So yeah, obviously I want the Endgame one. And one that just looks very naked without a waist cape. So obviously I wanted to have a waist cape. And Spider-Man looks incredible. That's the best arm piece I've ever seen for the Iron Spider. But yeah, he got his arm print from the bust, and he hasn't got any leg prints. I'm glad he's got dual molded legs though. That's cool. That's always a W. But I upgraded Iron Man and Captain America more than anything. I gave Iron Man some custom arm decals from Firestar. And with Captain America, I bought a second Captain Carter and replaced his arms and legs with hers. I now have a custom Peggy Carter rather than Captain Carter. Just because I think she had more personality when she wasn't a super soldier. Because she didn't need the super soldier serum to make her cool. And Steve needed it to make him strong. So, yeah. But those are some good sets, the Endgame ones. I know a lot of people hate them. I personally quite like them. I'll admit, I quite like the Endgame sets. I mean, I bought them. I have no idea where I'm going to put them when I move out of here. But, heyo, that's a problem for 4 or 5 months down the line. I think, if need be, I'll just pack up the minifigures and then figure it out as I go along. But, yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And speaking of minifigures, I have been collecting a lot more minifigures as well this year. Because minifigures were always the thing I could take to uni with me. Whereas with buying sets, it's like I can't move my whole collection. So minifigs were like the easiest thing to collect. And last year I bought some pretty cool minifigs. I bought the Buzz Lightyear from 2016 in the Disney CMF. I finally bought the proper Endgame Captain America. Not only did I give Endgame Captain America Peggy's arms and legs, I actually bought the proper Endgame Steve Rogers, not just the reissued Age of Ultron suit that had been used like 1,000 times over. Like that. When I first saw that set, that's what pissed me off the most. That's what really got on my nerves. The fact they didn't even bother to include the right Steve Rogers. Like, that for me was just like, how can you fumble that so hard? You literally made it 4 years earlier. You just, I don't know, reprint the piece or something. Like, that for me was so ridiculous. But yeah, all in all though, I really enjoyed the sets I built last year, and I've already made a start on the sets this year because I bought the Spider-Man 3 diorama as a part of the Epic Battles collection. That was a fantastic build. It was quick, don't get me wrong, it was only 200 pieces. That was a quick build, but it was brilliant. I really enjoyed building that set. It came with the first ever movie Venom. It came with the cheapest way to get the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. I now have every set that figure's appeared in. Well, yeah, because Spider-Man 2 had a rip print instead. But still, to have that is just amazing. Like, I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, so to have... And bearing in mind, I have him on just above the Green Goblin, it almost feels like I have a version of him from each film. Because I have him fighting the Green Goblin on my No Way Home diorama. I have the Spider-Man 2 set and the Spider-Man 3 set, so I've basically got the entire trilogy in Lego form, which, until they do like a proper Spider-Man 1 diorama, I'm really happy that's the case. I have a feeling they will do a Spider-Man 1 diorama, or just something of the 2002 film. If they do, I really hope, and I don't want to sound ungrateful here because I love the Tobey Maguire minifig. I love it that much. I actually bought the Firestar custom decals for the arm prints, as I did with the Andrew Garfield minifigure. But I really, really, really hope that I really hope that if they make a Spider-Man 1 set, that not only they do the Spider-Man 1 Green Goblin, but the Spider-Man 1 torso decal. I don't think the face print needs to be changed. I think they can use the same headpiece, same head print as they did for the other ones, but just a different torso again. You know, just because he's got a slightly different logo, he's got a different logo on the front and on the back of his suit. You know, why not? Why not? Just go all in, and hopefully as well we get some amazing Spider-Man sets because I love Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. I love him. I think he's brilliant. I think he played the character so well. I'd love to see. I want to see a Times Square diorama. I really want to see it. Either that or Spider-Man fighting Rhino from the end of the second film. Or they could do like a school diorama as well, where he's fighting the lizard. I've got a lizard minifigure, but that set's retired now, so they might do something different with it. I don't know. Maybe a new print. Maybe he's in like a lab coat. I know he was briefly in a lab coat in the. I mean, if they have slight inaccuracies just to make a new print, I'm not going to complain, because I've got the lizard minifig from the Spider-Man diorama expansion set with Sandman. So I'm not, you know, here to complain about that. I think that's amazing. But yeah, I'm all in all though, I'm really happy with this first set I built this year. Don't know what other sets. I mean, there's quite a few sets I'd like to build. I'd like to build the Ghost Rider set. I actually want to build some of the Sonic sets. I have a Sonic set actually. I just haven't built it yet. The Star Wars sets I'm not that interested in at the moment. I'm gonna be honest, I'm not like massively interested in the Star Wars sets. The Summer Wave sounds really cool with the Bespin Duel, the Ewok Village. Some of that sounds amazing. I can't lie. I'm particularly excited about the Ewok Village. I hope the Ewok Village is like as good as the old one from 2013. But yeah, it's streaming right now. Not there. Oh, he was. Oh, he was. Don't know if he still is. Yeah. I think I'm gonna call it here, just because I've waffled for long enough, and oh, yeah, we're actually on time tonight. We've actually had a full stream, so yeah, that is gonna be it for now. Do hope you're all well, and yeah, I'll see you all guys soon, and take care.